Hey, this is Learning Again with Truly Writer. Again, my pen writing media name is Truly Jacob Writer, so you probably won't see my face. So we're going through a series of videos, Big Thoughts for Little People by Kenneth N. Taylor, ABCs to Help You Grow. Does this actually help you learn the ABCs properly? So far, I would say no, because there is no audio that comes with this book that gives you the proper pronunciation of all the letters, because you want, the letter B to just have its own distinct sound and not have B and E with it. So, because B sounds like B-E-E. So anyways, we'll be going over another letter. But before we do that, again, these are Christian materials. Are these good Christian materials too, to help instill good moral lessons? So we're going to begin again with where we left off, the letter L. Compare scripture with scripture. Exodus 20:16. You must not lie. They reference the Living Bible. Again, Tyndale produced this. So Exodus 20:16, it says, you must not lie. You must not lie. It's the same for this verse. So today's letter is the letter M. M is for messy, with toys on the floor, so pick them up neatly when playtime is over. Some boys and girls leave their toys on the floor where people can fall over them and get hurt and break the toys. Wouldn't it be better to pick up the toys and put them away when you are through playing with them? Usually this makes everyone happier. It is also good to make your bed look neat in the morning and after a nap, and you can clear the table after meals and help wash and dry the dishes so they won't be messy. Yeah. So usually my room looks way worse than this because I don't have the energy and the know-how to clean and organize my room and have every item have its own spot. There isn't really storage in this house. And then when I moved back into this house, the room was not completely empty of everyone else's stuff to be able to do what I want. And it seems like when it comes to being neat and tidy in a more rectangular home, I like a shelving system. I like shelves. I don't like drawers because I need everything organized up and down in a vertical way to see things. It's hard for me to be completely organized. It doesn't mean that I don't want to, but if I knew how to use a saw and electric screwdriver and knew how to find the studs to put, screw in a shelving system or whatever, like I would just put shelves on like probably all the walls and be like, here you go. But you also have to know how to like measure properly. Be like, oh yeah, you need it to be here, here's your hole. So the shelf is actually level and stuff like that. So, but I never learned how to do that, so I can't do the manual labor myself. So my room is most of the time messy, and then you're dealing with, health issues. And if you don't have the energy, well, sometimes the best that you can do is wash your dishes by hand after you eat. Put them in the dishwasher to dry on the rack because our dishwasher doesn't work, so you can't run it anymore. And then lately it seems like I have added this skill of not just washing and drying my clothes, but actually folding them and putting them away instead of just leaving them in a clean basket. so that's happened twice so far. So it's like I am trying to become more productive. But do I like a messy room? No, but part of it is when you have people who say they're your parents. I thought the job of a parent, because that's what I watched on TV and a bunch of movies, was that they help motivate their children to do their homework and their chores, and they motivate them to be consistent, and they teach them consistency. And then once they learn consistency, then it's like, okay, now you're responsible for doing this on your own. So I have been trying to teach myself consistency, but even when it came to brushing my teeth, like my parents didn't get on my case to brush my teeth. Like before I went to bed. So there was no consistency of like, hey, let's teach our child consistency. So I don't remember them being consistent about that. But, that's how it is. Like, they provided our basic needs of food, water, shelter, clothes. They paid for a Christian education. Sometimes I'm torn between would it have been better to go to public school versus Christian school. I do not know, because it seemed I visited the public school system, and it's like there were a whole bunch of guys just undoing girls' bra straps. So it was like, and I was like, oh, why don't you report this to the principal? And they're like, oh, we'll get in more trouble or whatever. So it was like there was sexual harassment going on in the public school system, and that never happened in the Christian educational system, the sexual harassment stuff. At least the boarding academy that I went to for high school. So, it is. So on one hand, you're like, well, depending on where you're brought up, what is better? I don't know what's better, because it seems like it's all bad. There is no safe place where it's like, this is 100% in principles, with good morals and good science and good health. Like, it just doesn't exist. So it's literally, how do you live in a toxic, negative environment and be the most positive person you can be? So, I must learn consistency myself, because, the people who claim to be my real parents, they couldn't be bothered to actually do their duty and be an actual good parent to me. So it is what it is. So I have a messy room because they couldn't teach me consistency of pick up after yourself. And then, you have the husband or the dad being like, I'm the space invader, and I'm gonna make a mess of everything wherever I go and not clean up after myself. And then you have the mom saying like, well, I need help organizing. I can't do everything myself. We need to do this as a team. But yet the the one who was claiming to be the husband or whatever, he was like commuting an hour to work every day back and forth for the majority of the years. He has health issues, and so it was like, well, he didn't really have the time or the energy, because he was working 8 hours a day too, to clean up after himself, and unless it was like on the weekend or whatever. But so you would think the mom would be understanding about that. This person is going to work all day. It's like my job to clean the house and prepare lunches and stuff like that. But again, she claimed that there was sexual abuse that happened in the house that we moved into, and that she could not get over it because her brother-in-law sexually touched her inappropriately. So, you know, I wasn't there. By the tone of her voice, it seemed that like it really, really did happen, and it was horrible, and he never owned up to the sexual abuse. And you know he hit on his sister-in-law, he hit on his uh, mother-in-law, and then his wife was so proud that they had been married for 40 years. So the whole family, like at least on my mom's side of the family, was a sexual mess, because you have this whole like demographic of sexual abuse going on, and she couldn't ever truly emotionally heal and get over the sexual abuse. And so that affected her parenting style. So she didn't know how to teach her kids to be consistent. And so I really tried my best, because I was like, hey, my parents, they didn't heal, they didn't get their life together, they didn't um decide what morals and values they were going to have before they get married. Hey, let me try to figure out my morals, what I'm going to do in hypothetical situations of worst case scenarios happen before I get married and have kids. And what do you know? No man wants me. So, but also, if you look at the religion, the Christian religion, it's a very warped religion. And so there may be a better religion out there. Or, some drunk person came along and just spoke a whole bunch of crap over the real original Bible, and it cursed it to be sexually perverted and 100% sexually immoral. So it's like, so you have a very sexually immoral, messy Bible. It just goes on and on and on and on. And you have people claiming they got sexual abused, and then you talk to a bunch of different girls, and they're all claiming like, oh yeah, I got sexually abused. I got sexually abused. I got sexually abused. Yeah, my father touched me inappropriately in a sexual way. And it was like everyone was getting sexually abused. And it was like, man, this is a definitely toxic, negative world. I want out. Where is the Bible that talks about cutting off men's penis if they're that sexually perverted that they want to have sex with their daughter or their aunt or their grandma or their in-law? Like, where is that Bible? Well, technically in these Bibles it is there in Leviticus and Numbers, but I guess the Israelites chose not to enforce those laws because King David, uh he should have been stoned because he stole another man's wife. He should have been stoned and dethroned as king, but that didn't happen to him. Same with Saul, like, oh, you took on another wife? Oh, you should have been stoned to death. Where was the enforcing those laws of stoning a man to death for having an affair, and the girl that had the affair too, because that is in Leviticus and Numbers and Deuteronomy. So as far as I'm concerned, the Christian religion is a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of baloney. It's like, well, if they like to eat flesh meat, they like to eat living beings. And it's like, this is a sacrifice to the one we worship. They were probably worshiping idols, and they said they were worshiping the living God or whatever, but it was probably really an idol, because I can't comprehend that the one who truly designed you and created you in your real mother's womb would purposely be like, oh yeah, I'm okay with you eating a living being that became dead. Oh yeah, I'm okay with you making a mistake and having more than one wife, repenting, divorcing the second wife, and then that wife going off and marrying someone else. You know, I have a really hard time believing that someone who created you and designed you and made everything at the top, that has all power and authority, would allow that shit to go on for real. So again, it goes to, this is a very messy, toxic, worldly environment that we're in, and there's very weird, gross religions out there, because you have the Muslims who are okay with more than one wife. You have the Israelites that are okay with more than one wife. You have Joseph Smith, the Mormons, that are okay with more than one wife. And then you have Christians that are okay with divorce, where it's like, okay, you had sex with this individual, divorce, get remarried to another individual, get divorced again. You have multiple partners. So you're literally putting your penis in multiple vaginas, and you're allowing multiple penises to go into your vagina. It's just morally disgusting and gross. And that's probably why I'm agnostic, because that's shitty relationships. Society wants shitty relationships. They want very messy, immoral relationships with each other. But if that's what you believe, that's your freedom of choice. If you think that's okay, go for it. But as far as I'm concerned, Christians, religious, any religion that believes it's okay to have more than one wife, any religion that's so okay with romantically dating multiple individuals, you're part of the problem in society. You're making this environment super toxic. And then, TV shows are part of the problem too, because they're like, oh yeah, I can break up with this individual. My best friend, that's a girl, had sex with my boyfriend behind my back, and then you're gonna go and be friends with that girlfriend, like that's supposed to be a friend? I don't think so. That's not how it works. You're gonna be like, I want nothing to do with you because you're a bitch, you're a bastard, you're a slut, you're a man whore. So that's what society is, a bunch of sluts and a bunch of man whores. It's very, very messy, toxic environment, and I want nothing to do with it. So my attitude was, hey, if there's a married man, that man is taken, I can only be friends with him. If a man is romantically dating another girl, yeah, I could, at times I thought some of the boys my age were cute, but if he was in this romantic relationship with another girl, I was like, he's off limits. He's not a possibility. He's with another girl. They'll probably get married someday. Good luck, and I would pray for them to have a healthy relationship with each other. I prayed for years that God would lead me to the right significant other, and that he would only be mine and everything. And at the end of the day, there is no man that exists that actually wants me and me only. So maybe if God is the creator or the designer, they made a mistake and they didn't design a spouse for me. So I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, for all of eternity, is probably what's going to happen, because I'm not willing for another man to stick his fucking penis up another woman's vagina, or a girl's vagina. I mean, like, why is it woman? Why is man in the word woman if a woman is supposed to refer to a girl only? That doesn't make logical sense. So maybe the language is cursed. Um, so anyways, yeah, toxic, huge toxic environment. It's disgusting. It's morally disgusting. As an agnostic, that's why I'm against all the frickin' religions of the world, because it's like, hey, where's the more detailed religion where there is no sexual immorality and people actually implement what they say they believe? Because all the Christians, everyone who's like, oh yeah, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus saving me, they actually don't implement anything they say. They tell lies all the time. Oh, we believe in coming together and working together as a community. We want the church to grow and everyone to be saved. Bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. They never taught me how to develop certain gifts and talents so I could use them in the church to help bring people into the church and save tons of people. And then, hey, why is something wrong? Well, when something is wrong, and nothing works and everything they say is like, this is successful. If you do this, this will bring you success. If you do this, your life will not become messy. It will become clean, and it doesn't work. Well, that means that they have wrong doctrines. And that's why my life could never get clean, so to speak, in every aspect of my life. Concerning health, even concerning my room being clean, neat and tidy, consistency and brushing my teeth, organization in the house. Obviously, the shitty religion doesn't work. Anyways, so what is the girl doing to her bed? Well, that girl is making it. So again, I guess two individuals, two children share a room together. So she's trying to keep her side more neat. This side is messy. Okay, what should the children do with the toys on the floor? Obviously, put them away. Put them where they belong. Do you pick up your toys when you are finished playing with them? I don't really have toys that I can play with. I've never really been able to have tons and tons of fun. Basically, what I had to do for fun was like roam around in the woods or outside and daydream and make up a better life where my room was neat and tidy and I had everything that I need and I had the clothes that I wanted and I looked really good, and I would pretend to be rich because I'm poor, and I would pretend to be able to speak languages properly and everything like that. So like literally I walked outside. I didn't have to pick up after myself, because there wasn't toys. And then in the other house that I had, when I did play with toys and stuff like that, it was like, I think I did pick up myself after myself better, because it was like, well, you don't want to step on the toys. You only have so much room to walk around. So yeah, we did pick it up, but it was like, hey, this goes here, this goes here, this goes in this toy bin or whatever. So it just depended what we were doing. But yeah, I remember putting them away after I was done. And I guess the room was mostly clean, but it could be cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. So, and again, if you have less stuff and you only have so much stuff, then it's easier to put your toys away. But if you have like tons and tons of toys, then it's like, it's harder to put things away. And again, if you don't have space for everything that you own, then that's when you get clutter and that's when things get messy. So I try, but hey, there's even a room downstairs that needs to be renovated, but I don't have the skills or the manual labor, the how to part of how to do it myself. Otherwise, like the room would be done by now. If I knew how to do things myself, I would just do it and get it done. But I don't know how. I don't know how to be a carpenter. I should have learned how to be my own carpenter, because then I would have been able to fix anything. I should have learned how to fix my own car, because then I could do my own oil changes. And if something went wrong, then I could be like, okay, let's tear this freaking thing apart and put it back together so it works properly. You know, like in today's society, it's like you have to be able to do everything yourself. Otherwise, nothing gets done. So literally, because I went into a service industry for a health service, yeah, literally, it was like a waste of time because it didn't help me love myself. It didn't help me do anything around the house. You know, you have to know how to deal with the mechanics. You have to have those mechanical skills to be able to handle living in this toxic, messy environment. Otherwise, you can't get things done at a reasonable price, because that's what everyone wants, is they want to make the most money possible, but they're not willing to give you a legitimate wage. They're like, we're gonna pay you by the hour, but they don't even pay you an hour's wage. What is an hour? Well, if you work an hour, you should get paid an hour. So what does that mean? Well, if pennies equal seconds, then there are 60 seconds in a minute, then you should get paid for every minute 60 pennies. So if a dollar is equals a minute, then for 60 minutes, you should get paid $60 for your wage. And so, what are people doing? They're not paying you truly by the hour. They said we were on the gold standard, but they got rid of the gold. So we should be on the, time equals money wage, right? That's what people told me. Time equals money. So a second should be a penny, a dollar should be a minute, and $100 should be an hour. But do you get or it should be like, yeah, $60 should be an hour. So it's like, again, 60 pennies equals a minute. And, then you switch it up. A dollar equals a minute too. And then $60 would equal an hour. So, but are they doing that? No. So you don't get paid what you're worth, because no one really values the actual manual time that it takes to do your job. And so everyone's gypping everybody's wages. So probably that's why the United States of America is $3 billion or $1 trillion in debt, whatever it really is. Who knows? But hey, no one actually wants to be consistent. No one actually wants to have currency that says 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds that it took for, and then here's a minute, here's 60 minutes, whatever. No one wants that kind of paper because, oh, it'd be too much dollar bills to carry around. Who cares? You're getting a fair wage. The prices, it'd be easier to maintain your money and your finances and to make do. And even if you literally have a part-time job or something, you would still probably be able to live off of that and have a decent quality of life. You may not be super rich, but you could at least afford an apartment and car insurance and a vacation every year. I can afford to do anything fun, even really quarterly. It's like what's wrong with the governmental system? So again, super messy environment, and everyone's like everything's fine and hunky-dory. Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? What kind of positive environment do you live in? Do we live in the same environment? Do you really understand what you're saying and you're hearing and what you're doing and what you're watching and like, do you comprehend anything at all? Because it's not this happy, good, positive environment. And so it creates a whole society, every individual, to bring us to this positive, loving, safe, healthy environment where an adult person that wasn't raised to be an adult and be independent and be successful, where it's like that adult has to literally learn everything all over again, teach themselves. I would have been better off with legitimate homeschooling materials where it's like, here, be your own teacher, listen to these videos, here's the proper sounds of the alphabet, here's the mail and chemistry sets and the experiments to do yourself. I would have been better off homeschooling myself if there was a program designed like that, and be like, hey, you literally have to be your own parent. You have to be your own grandparent. You have to do self-love. Where are those type of materials? Because no one around me wanted to do a good job with teaching me consistency, to actually teach me how to do anything the right way so I could be successful. Because that's what my goal was. I want to be successful in life. I want to be a productive member in society. I want to help the community. That's what people said. But you don't actually see the communities coming together and actually loving and caring each other. So it's like, you don't actually mean what you say, is what has come across to me, and that's not okay. You would be better off teaching a child it's everyone for themselves, because that's kind of how society is. Everyone's selfish. You need to be a liar and look out for yourself. You talk yourself up for a job interview. Oh yeah, I can do this and this and this and this and this and this, or whatever. Oh yeah, I'm an excellent worker. Yes, I do my job. And then it's like everyone does the bare minimum, right? Because no one cares about being like Joseph and doing the best they can. In the Bible, where it was like, Joseph was a slave in prison, so they say, and he worked and was diligent and ended up running the whole prison, right? So he became super, super successful with everything he did, and then he got to become the governor of all of Egypt, the second command to Pharaoh himself, because of his work ethic and diligence. So I tried to do huge work ethic. Did they promote me? Did they value me as an employee? Did they be like, here, let's give you a promotion? Here, like, let's up your pay. Let's make it so you can live in this world? No, they chose to fire me. because I complained about needing a higher salary or a higher wage because, hey, one day, that's what they say, when you're 100 or whatever, people become dead, and until the second coming of Christ, they can't be resurrected back to life, so you're on your own. And it was like, oh, like my parents could become dead someday, and then I'd be left to fend for myself. Who's gonna help take care of me? Because I don't know how to take care of myself. So that's why it's like, are there other non-religious materials somewhere for free that teach you how to run a society to be 100% successful, at least, science, clothes, shelter, or government system, where it's fair and everyone gets what they need, and you still create some kind of moral society where people are like, oh yeah, I believe in loving you and caring about you, and I value friendship and real relationships. But it doesn't seem like in the society that I live in that anyone really values any relationship with anyone whatsoever. It's like, believe what I tell you to believe, take my word for it. Otherwise, I'm going to ostracize you. I'm going to attack you verbally because you're wrong. So again, very messy environment. I can go on and on and on. I think this book is provoking me to vent like galore. So God is not the one who likes things to be disorderly and upset. 1 Corinthians 14:33. So we'll look at that next time. So where are the ladybugs? Let's see if we can find all the ladybugs. So we have one here. I don't think I see any more on that page. 2, 3. I think this time I only see 3 ladybugs. So how many ladybugs did you find? Did you find any other ladybugs that I did not see? So again, would you use this book to help teach a Christian child to have moral lessons of keep your room neat and tidy? Would you use this book to help teach Christian children the alphabet? And how many ladybugs did you find? Until next time.